Hey everybody, this is Illy Trading. I'm here to do my futures recap. This is basically the end of the week, beginning of the week recap, where we've been, where we're possibly going. All right, so let's just get right into it. So we're going to be starting off with the futures. We're going to be doing NASDAQ. So NASDAQ has been doing some interesting structure. We have not been taking out any previous highs. If you can see here to the left, we have a recent high of 31,086. So we're going to round down to about 80 for that for a round number because the big institutions like to do like even numbers. So we recently sold off. This was last June the 3rd, the first week of June. So we sold off, we pulled up, sell back down, we bounced and created support at 28,543. Slight pull up, came right back down to support again. Bounced off, and then we did a nice little run up. We were trying to reach this high of the previous of 31,086, but we did not take it. We bounced down. We rejected down at the 30,983 mark. So sold off a little bit, had a nice little bounce off of this 50 SMA, EMA, and this is the 4 hour. Bounced off, came up, tried to break through the ceiling again, but we did not make it. So we rejected again, making a double top to sell off. Now, as we continue on, we are still kind of selling off. We're around the support area of 29,700. Come down, we come back down to support at around 29,250. Bounce off, and they were trying to make high. This candle was a crazy candle. This was MU good news. But the next day, we did not get anything further. We maxed out at about 30,257 and had a major sell off that day. Okay, I remember being in like looking at this trade and be like, wow, this is a massive candle. This basically is equilibrium to this big green candle the day before to equal out the next day to equal balance out. Come down, we're back at support. Okay, bounce up, but we are not taking out any previous highs. I am looking for sales. We are on the EMAs, under all EMAs at this point on the 4 hour. If we look at our 1 hour, we're definitely going to be under all EMAs again. This structure even shows you even more of structure of selling down. So what I am looking for coming into this new week is for some nice sell off again. I wouldn't be surprised if we do a nice liquidity grab and then sell down, but we are right at the support line at 29,255, right around this area. So I would not be surprised that if we open up on Sunday night, we gap down, sell down, pull back, come back down to continue selling down. We are in probably a cool off stage, starting to sell off. Not going to say we are completely in the bear market, but maybe a nice pullback for potential moves up or just to try to take profit on our trades. So what I'm looking for this week is some bearish moves. I'm looking for some sell off. I will be looking at obviously passing this range of 29,260 or 70. Also passing the range of 28,540. Okay, so I'm looking at sales around to about 28,534. I mean, or 40, sorry. Let's go back to the 4 hours so I can get my and these have been marked from before. I have not added any marks in this area. We'll be looking after we pass this level. If we came sold down, bounce off, came back, pull up to around again the 29,236 area. I would like to see a nice sell off again to 27,550 area. Um, at that point, we will see where we are. I can see this happening from Monday to Wednesday, possibly, even the end of the week, probably. We'll see. I do have a nice area down here for possible 1 hour fair value gap. I don't know. I'll have to look back and see if there's possibly an order block. I've been seeing more order blocks here than fair value gap because I feel like fair value gaps are everywhere. So anyway, I am looking for sales to the areas of Obviously, I do think at open we will gap down. So I'm looking for sales to go to 29,000, 28,540, possibly even 27,900. I'm gonna add this here. And then I'm looking at maybe a possible final sale at 27,550. So let's see how we do with that range. This right here is major support. And I also think it's 50% of this major run up here. Let's quickly take a look to see if that is. I'm gonna do all the way up here. It's a little short of the 50%. Not too far off though. So this right here at 26,520 is between the 0.38 and 0.50. So I would be interested to see if we even make it possibly down here. It is right around that 50.5 fib range. So not too bad, not too shabby, Illy. All right, next one we're going to go to is Spy. So, a same thing with Spy. You guys already know how I feel about Spy and Naz. They are like twin sisters. Sometimes one wants to act like a nut, sometimes they don't. So, here we have some shorting, some market structure showing me some cells. I'll add this trend line for visual purposes because y'all, I am a very visual person. All right, on the 4 hour, we have some lower highs, right? So if we go here, all right, so we had a recent high of 7,696. Sold off, tried to come back up, was not able to take it. Sold off again with a nice sell off. That was June 5th. Bounced up. We did not make any previous highs. Sold off again. Took out previous support at around 7,350. Bounced up. Did a little movement around this area. We can probably. This area is interesting to me. Let me just put this in a box. I'll take a look at this later. But anyway, so we'll look at that area. But we did have like a nice little like pattern form here. We opened up with a gap on Sunday the 14th, June 14th. Huge gap. So we bought all the way up, did attempt to take out this high, but did not succeed. Trickled around here, sold off again, started to sell off, filled this gap, bounced up, and again tried to take out this previous high, but no go. Bounced right off of this trend line and sold off. So now we are currently on the 4 hour under all EMAs again, 250, 21, 13, and 9. Closing price on Friday was around 7,397. So I would again not be surprised if we possibly gap down, take out these previous lows at 7,285. I would be looking at also possibly going down to 7,262 and even 7,187. I know those are some far numbers, but not that really, because if we take out this low, do a nice pullback, these would be the next lows to be looking at. Even this low would even be interesting, 7,140. I'll put something right there. So again, I am looking for sales. If we do not pass, if we do not break the support at 7,350, we have a nice rejection back up. Then we will be attempting to take out previous highs. And the reason why I say that for here is because this market structure never took out this low. So if we do not take out this low, we're going back up. If we take out this low, well, obviously we have to come down to come pull back up. So, but if we take out this low, I would be still looking for sales because we're breaking structure. Market structure is being broken. Next one that we're looking at is gold. Gold has done a nice little rally. We have done major selling off on gold. Okay. From I mean, we've been selling off since 4,950. So we have just been in that date was around April 17th. Okay. So we have just been selling since April, selling, taking profits, trying to pull up to take out any new highs. That's not a go. So we are still underneath the trend line. We are still in a sell mode. So now that we have some new information, we've taken out some pretty significant parts. We are still though in a channel, this channel here. We can, it's not the best channel, but we're still in this downward channel going down though. So it would be nice to see a nice little pull up to possibly come back down, to come back up, to come back down to this area of support. And I say support because we had a lot of consolidation. This was last year around August, where right before again gold flew to the moon. Okay. So we're not making extreme lows like we did before, but we're like slowly like coming down, coming down, coming down. But this right here is a nice little pullback rally. So I would not be surprised if we open up gap up because we had a nice push. On the 4 hour, we are starting to have our 9 and 13 crossover, our EMAs. And let's go to the 1 hour. And the 1 hour structurally wise looks pretty good. This is created a new support at 3,973. So we have a nice little kind of pull up. We never come back down to touch any of these lows here. We have a nice pull up. We're going to take out this high over here, pull back for it to come back up to take out this high right here at 4,115. All right. We have a pullback again. I wouldn't be surprised if we gap up, try to hit this 200 EMA right here. All right. That will put us at the price about 41,841.80. All right. So I would like to see a nice little gap up, take out this high here, and even possibly take out this high here. We'll see how that goes. If we start taking out this high, we'll probably do a nice little pullback and go back up. All right. So that's what we're looking at for gold. Um, There we are. So I'm looking for a nice little gap up for to take out some highs to structurally make it make sense. So we'll see how gold does. I don't know if we're truly doing a nice real rally upward, but we are doing a nice little pullback. I do think that we're starting to do a pullback here. Next one is going to be oil. I tell you, these things have been like throwing me off a little bit, but here we go. It is what it is. So oil did also do a nice little pullback too, but I'm not surprised by that because we did close some gaps. Now on the futures chart, there is another gap down here way low at the $60 area. I'm not sure if we're going to go that low because I do know we have some things going over overseas that might be an interest to make things a little bit more pricey or juicier. So anyway, let's hop up to the 4 hour. 4 hour. So we had a major sell in oil. Oil has just been melting, 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 melting. Like it's the wicked rich of the West. Okay. So created a nice support here. So I would really like to see price come up here within the next month or 2 months. I know that's far out, but that let's just keep our eyes on the big prize, right? So if you wanted to do a nice little swing trade, I do think it's safe to kind of look at this area to swing back up. Now, I also think it's nice to sell back, to buy back up because we have a huge gap that needs to be filled here at the $80 mark, 81.66. So I do have my line triggered for it to alarm off when this actually crosses over on the 4 hour. And at that time, I would be also looking for my EMAs to start to cross over. Now, on the 4 hour, we are still strong on the downside. But if we pop over to our 1 hour, I probably will see some formation of closing over. Now, I like I said, I would really like to see this tap up through here, kind of close above, take out this high. I would be happy with that. That even be great too. We do have a nice little support that formed at this area here, right? So we have support and resistance. So it would be really nice for this to come up, break through, pull back, come through, and start taking out some previous highs. We can look at this area too at 79. Now, again, this is big picture, not going to be happening too much unless we have a lot of money coming in that we don't know about. And then all of a sudden it just zooms to the moon, which in this market, you never know. I could be right. It could be done by next week. But it took forever for us to close the previous downward gaps. But now that those gaps are closed for the most part, besides this really low one, we do have this one. And I do feel like, was this 80 versus 60? I don't know. It's probably 50% of the range. It's probably whichever one they decide to go to first is probably what's going to be the target. So hopefully on Sunday we gap up, aiming for this gap here, and then see what they want to do. If they want to pull back, or just continue back up. Who knows? We never know. But I am the way that we ended the chart. I would expect a nice little gap up. If not, then we will still be selling down to fill up this gap to come back up. But oil is pretty good with closing all gaps. So I feel safe to say that we will be filling all gaps eventually. It just depends on what gap we're going to do first. All right, you guys. So that's my output on the futures. I will see you on the charts. I can't wait to see how we open on Sunday night. All right. Have a good weekend. Bye.